days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, right at you, you give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.
The GOAT. Is she what? I don't know. With my eyes, I couldn't see if she's Caucasian or not. So I think what we're trying to say is what the WNBA currently has is what we like to describe as a cash cow. There is a superstar. And we're not saying that the players on the court need to act any differently. That's the athletes are going to do what athletes are going to do in any sport. And I think we're all learning that WNBA, that's old school football, baby. That is old school football. But I would like the media people that continue to say, this rookie class, this rookie class, this rookie class. Nah, just call it for what it is. There's one white bitch for the Indiana team who is a superstar. And is it because she stayed in Iowa, put an entire state on her back, took a program from nothing to a multiple-year success story? Is it because she would go on to break the entire points records in the history of the NCAA? Not just the women's record by Kelsey Plum, shout out, but also Pistol Pete Maravich's, the dude's record as well. Is there a chance that people just enjoy watching her play basketball because how electrifying she is, what she did, what she stood for, how she went about going, what she went for? Maybe. But instead, we have to hear people say that we only like her because she's white. And she's the only popular because the rest of the rookie class is doing what they're doing. Well, that's a bunch of bullshit. And we think the WNBA, more specifically, their refs need to stop trying to screw her over at every single turn. What you have is somebody special. And we're lucky she's here in Indiana. And that was, guess which WNBA rookie?
That was mediocre punter Pat McAfee, who went from a mediocre punter in the NFL to a very successful commentator. We're here to carry out the show. Yeah, people can do. You got to win championships to, or be in the Hall of Fame. But some people can just kind of fall into these things. Yeah, we're here. It's Dr. Summy Show. This Caitlin Clark thing is turning into something that it shouldn't. It's really sad to watch. Jamel Hill just wrote a piece in the Atlantic on how certain people shouldn't be, how disappointed she is at media. The title is "The One Downside of Gender Equality in Sports." The WNBA's newfound popularity has triggered a boom in commentary from men who have no idea what they're talking about. That's her article today. And basically that's what it is. Just because you have an opinion, whether it's political or otherwise, doesn't mean you should be out here talking when you don't know what you're talking about. It's crazy.
Right. And I've seen, I gotta say it, there's the number of Black men in sports media. I'm not talking about general Black male population, but the Black men in sports media who are just falling over themselves to throw the capes on and come to the rescue for Caitlin. When Angel Reese got clotheslined, like a WWE move to the floor, she got practically stepped on, and you didn't see a fraction of the outrage. First of all, because the person who did it was Black. And so I guess Black on Black wasn't really as sensational as Caitlin Clark getting roughed up by a Black woman. So then you have the racial dynamic there. And of course, you're going to demonize the Black woman. But why would they come to the rescue for Angel Reese when you were just trying to demonize her? Many of the same people who are now saying Emmanuel Acho, who you just said that Angel Reese doesn't get to be emotional. She doesn't get to play aggressive and be emotional when she loses or whatever. Now, and saying that she needs to toughen up. Brother, you the same dude who said that is now saying that Caitlin Clark is being, just being bullied and they're being rough on her and how you didn't say she needs to toughen up. You didn't say that because she talks trash on the court, then she should toughen up when somebody gives her back what she gave. You didn't say anything about the elbow that she delivered to Kennedy on the other side of the court, and before she got pushed in a non-basketball move when it was Kennedy's turn. Nobody said that. Even when he did show that clip on his Twitter timeline, he made sure to add, I'm not saying that this justifies what she did to Caitlin Clark. I'm just saying y'all asked for the clip, so I'm showing it. Well, brother, it obviously shows that there was two sides to the story, but you made sure that you undermined it when it came time to show the clip that we demanded you show on Kennedy's side. So the way that these brothers are coming out here with their capes waving for Caitlin Clark is only making it worse.
What do you make of that? Like, what's the gain here? To show white people that you're not racist because you're defending the honor of this white girl, and let's just call it what it is. I pulled some stats so that we could put it in perspective. Indiana Fever 2-9. They are at the bottom. The only team worse in the WNBA are the Mystics. The Mystics are 0-8. They have lost every game. Okay. The right. Liberty beat the brakes off of Indiana yesterday. Indiana, the Liberty is, I think, 7-2. Connecticut is undefeated. So those are the top two teams in the league, the New York Liberty and Connecticut. The number one scorer is Arike Ogunbowale. She leads the league for Dallas. She's averaging 26.2 points. She's only 5'8". She went to Notre Dame, where she starred. Asia Wilson is number 2 in scoring. Asia Wilson, of course, the defending MVP of the league. The Aces, her Las Vegas Aces, the defending champs. She is second in scoring and the leader in rebounds, 12.5 rebounds. Kelsey Plum, who there's a video of her throwing T-shirt into the stands. This young lady should be a quarterback for an NFL team. The way she threw, it was an incredible. I'm like, I have never seen anything like it. I mean, these women are incredible athletes. Kelsey Plum, who they called, I think they called her the Puerto Rican something. They thought she was Puerto Rican, but she's not. She's a white girl. She didn't want to culturally appropriate, so she was like, stop it. She leads the league in threes. Right. Okay. Right. Diana Taurasi's number 2. Caitlin Clark leads nothing. She's actually 4th in assists with 6.4 assists. The leading assister is Alyssa Thomas from Connecticut, which is number 1 team. She has 9 assists a game. She's not standing out in any of the categories except for assists. She's not in the top 5 scoring or anything. So even to put her on a pedestal as a superstar, she's not a superstar in this league just by the numbers, right? Right. But we saw that happening even in college. When the guy just said, "Oh, she broke Pete Maravich's record. She's an all-time scoring record of everybody," but they didn't say anything about Lynette Woodard. And the technicality being, we're going to put an asterisk next to the record because there was a different governing body for part of Lynette Woodard's time that she was playing, and since there was a different governing body and not technically under the NCAA rather. We're not going to count those points, even though she scored the points. So if we're talking about what scores happen in the NCAA versus who actually scored the points, despite the governing body, well, then the record hasn't really been broken. Lynette Woodard, and the only reason that that's relevant is because if you're talking about the achievement and who's been able to achieve what, regardless of league, as an athlete, then it should be taken into consideration. But we saw that Major League Baseball just recently, because that was argument against Josh Gibson and all the other Negro League baseball players all this time. Now, when they converge, they finally merge the records and say that regardless of league, we're going to look at your feet as baseball players and see who ranks where. A bunch of white players, a bunch of white icons, they tumbled in the stats, and black players took their place. Ty Cobb took a backseat to Josh Gibson. You better say it. Right. So it's not apples to apples. Even then, it's not apples to apples because they couldn't find all of the records. So it's even worse. It's even worse. Right. You're right. You're right. So if we live in an era where even MLB is now recognizing that
the league isn't always, the governing body isn't always the most important thing. At the very least, if you're going to give her the record for the NCAA, at the very least, make sure that you still put in the contribution of Lynette Woodard so that she doesn't go off into obscurity because of some technicality that could be remedied years from now. And so it's just being fair. It's a slap in the face of all the women who played in these small arenas, who had the empty stands, who put forth their, Cheryl Swoops and the people who did the things necessary for the league to even still exist, for her to come and so-called take it to the next level. But we know for a fact that what really elevated her, even in college, is she had to have an arch rival. And Angel Reese provided that. When Angel Reese taunted her back, when she did the thing to her back that she had done, white America, a certain segment of white America was activated. And his race is definitely a dynamic in it that wanted to come to her side. And Angel Reese provided the other side of that dynamic. And let's face it, she lost. Right. You got beat multiple times by women who went on to do things in this league, and even as a rookie, who are doing more than what you're doing in this league, but they're still padding the stats. They'll say, Caitlin, was the first rookie to tie her shoes with the left hand on the right foot. You keep finding these ways to promote her and put her in the papers. And now Caitlin didn't make herself available when she wasn't the leading scorer for all of the games. The person who was the leading scorer did. Now Angel Reese doesn't make herself available when she wasn't the top performer on her team, and you find her $1,000 for it. So what are we really doing here?
You know what we're doing, and I need you to erect the name of Pearl Moore too, who's from your hometown, not your hometown, but your backyard of Florence, South Carolina. She actually does hold the record, 4,061 collegiate points from 1975 to 1979. One of the greatest players to ever play, Pearl Moore, in addition to Lynette Woodard. Both of them did not play with three-pointers, so it's not apples to apples. And to put somebody in the greatest scorer of all time without context is myth-making at its best, and it's what we do. All right, I don't have time to pontificate about this, but I'm going to play this clip that went on today on First Take. It is the voice you'll hear, Stephen A. Smith and Monica McNutt. Monica McNutt. I want to play it. We're going to come back to it several times, but it speaks to this thing where, all right, go ahead, Smith, play it.
Perfect. We're talking about them maximizing their great potential. And because we bring that up and talk about what potentially might get in their way, which we do to men all the time, now we got to sit up here and watch every syllable. I resent that, and I'll leave it at that.
All right, so let me, I know we got to go to break. Welcome to the world of being a woman, Stephen A., and how you have to dance about your word choice and you have to please everybody and anybody as you navigate your being. We are talking about the world's greatest
How about being a black man?
Being black. Hold on 1 second. Have you... So this is what I'm saying to y'all, though, and I know we got to go to break. And we didn't necessarily go there, and maybe we should. There are so many layers in this conversation around the way that it's being discussed. No. And yes, Shannon, I know y'all are going to say and Stephen A., I know you're going to, you just shared that you have talked about the WNBA on your program, too. You guys may not have said everybody, but the prevailing sentiment for folks that are just joining the WNBA and following women's sports is unfair to the women of this league, to your point, who have laid the groundwork for Caitlin Clark to come in and now take it to the next level. That's all I'm saying in these conversations. Kennedy Carter's behavior is not indicative of the entire league. We are still talking about competition where you are allowed to get a little extra elbow in if you are competing and you do it within the parameters of the game. The game is physical. Caitlin is helping to grow the league. These women understand that, but she cannot be babied as a rookie. That's all I'm at.
All right. Who talks about the WNBA? Who talks about women? Who talk about women's sports more than First Take?
Stephen A., respectfully, with your platform, you could have been doing this 3 years ago if you wanted to.
Wow.
All right, we got to go to you guys.
So did you say
you're my guy, but
who does more than
Stephen
us?
A., I'm talking to you. Wow. Don't do that. I'm talking to you about the power that you have.
Okay.
I'm talking to you.
Okay.
All right,
you're my guy, but I'm talking to you.
I got
it. Guys, I really appreciate
you my girl, but you've missed a lot of episodes of First Take. You missed a lot.
Stephen A., 3 years ago, you would not talk about the W at this level. Don't do that.
Guys.
Nobody was, Monica. You making Stephen A's point, Monica. Monica, you making Stephen A's point.
Please let me do my job. We've gone for 40 minutes straight. It was a riveting discussion. I have to get in the commercial break.
All right. We don't have time to talk about it, but we'll continue this. Dr. Summy Show. I'll see you in South Carolina too. August 4th through the 6th. I'm so grateful. I get to get a hug from you and get to hear your karaoke tunes. I cannot wait. Dr. Summy Show. Follow him everywhere. He is an absolute treat. And let me thank the team, Smizzy, Amina, Alexa, Jonah, Double Duty today, Truth the Universe video team, and of course, family. I love you.